It's really the little things that count. People consistently ignore frugal habits because they decide they're not worth their time, because they just aren't saving enough money with those habits.
With frugal living, it's the small amounts saved over time that really add up.
If you don't know us, I'm Hope.
And I'm Larry.
This is Under the Median, where every week we talk about practical frugality. In this video, we'll walk you through our home and show you some ways that we are saving money. These are small frugal habits that make a difference. Don't run the water while you're brushing your teeth. In the amount of time it takes you to brush your teeth, you're going to run well over a gallon of water right down the drain.
When bringing hot water in for doing dishes, save the cold water that's coming through the tap to be used for making coffee later. Don't run the water while you're doing dishes. Go ahead and get a pan of clear water so when you rinse the clean dishes, you won't be running the water out of the tap all the time.
Replacing your toilet, one of the most cost-efficient things you can do in your bathroom. This new toilet cost us a couple $100. It takes about 2 gallons of water to flush this toilet. Our old toilet, it was 5 gallons every time we flushed the toilet. Newer shower heads use less than half the amount of water of old-fashioned shower heads. Time your showers, guys. We've been timing ours. Everybody else in the family is under 5 minutes. I'm still at about 6 minutes, but I'm working on it. You'll save money on your water bill and also your energy bill. When it comes to the kitchen, cook with low energy appliances. We did a test where we tested 4 common kitchen appliances, and the #1 place definitely went to the Instant Pot. It uses the least amount of energy. But if you want to cut down even more on the amount of time that you're using your Instant Pot, if you are cooking beans in the Instant Pot, soak the beans in water in the Instant Pot overnight. The next morning, drain the water, rinse the beans, add new water, and cook it in the Instant Pot, and you will dramatically cut down on the amount of time that even those beans need to be in the Instant Pot. The whole idea is to plan ahead. Now, speaking of planning ahead, make sure that when you take something out of your freezer, I just took this out of my freezer, guys, tofu for dinner tomorrow night. Make sure that you're thawing this not in the microwave or under hot running water. No. Make sure that you're planning ahead, get it out ahead of time, stick it in a bowl just in case this kind of leaks a little bit or some of the moisture comes off of it in your refrigerator. Just stick it in a bowl, stick it in your refrigerator overnight to thaw. When it comes to cooking in your crock pot, grab a piece of aluminum foil, fill the crock pot, put the aluminum foil over the crock pot, put the lid on. This will seal this lid much better. It will allow for less of that steam to escape, and you will be able to reduce your cooking time up to 45 minutes. Also, when it comes to the crock pot, no peeking is the rule. Wait until it is ready to check. If you need to add things at the last minute, go ahead and wait the prescribed amount of time. Take the lid off, add what you need to, replace this aluminum foil, replace the lid. Dinner will be ready in no time flat. When it comes to cooking, choose the right sized burner. Large pan, large burner, not small burner. And while you're cooking, always make sure that you cook with the lid on. It will cook faster, use less energy, and it will also heat your home up less with the lid on. Wash and reuse plastic bags. As long as you haven't had something like meat in this or dairy, then certainly it is reusable. Do exactly the same thing with bread bags. You don't necessarily have to wash the bread bags, just get all the crumbs out of the bottom. Residual heat is your friend. When you are baking something in the oven, generally the last 5 or even 10 minutes, you don't need to have the oven turned on. Go ahead, turn it off, and whatever is in there can finish cooking in the residual heat. And when it comes to using your full-size oven, if you're not making something that requires a lot of space, use a toaster oven. It uses substantially less power than a traditional electric oven does. When it comes to cooking, our rule of thumb, especially in the middle of the summer, is make anything that is not going to heat the house up. One of the things that we have become accustomed to is cooking every few days. Every 3 or 4 days, I'll spend about 3 hours and I'll cook enough food that will last us for the next 2 or 3 or even 4 days. This is batch cooking, also known as bulk cooking. Not only does it work really, really well to save on energy costs, it also works really, really well to use up items you already have on hand in your home, and it helps you ultimately to save on your grocery costs. Make sure that you are menu planning every single week. I love to do topical menu planning, which is where I plan broad categories of food that I'm serving my family each week, like all the main dishes, the soups, the salads, the side dishes. They're all listed together. It allows me really easily to mix and match things as I go throughout the week. One of the most effective ways you can drop your grocery budget is to make sure that you are planning your menu plans with items that you got on sale at the grocery store for a super great price. I just got on Sunday, I got 9 pounds of baking potatoes at Kroger, and I paid $3 for those 9 pounds of potatoes. That means over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be planning a whole lot of recipes that feature potatoes. When you consistently do your menu planning and serve your family meals based on ingredients that you've got on sale or on markdown, your grocery budget will drop. And when it comes to leftovers, repurpose them. Take them for lunch the next day or create a whole new recipe out of your leftovers to feed your family something new and interesting, and hopefully they won't even realize they're eating leftovers.
We like to open our windows when it gets a little cooler outside and we're not using our air conditioning. But one thing you got to really check for when you're opening your windows, this can come down a little bit from the top. And we really may not see it. It may be just down, say, that much. Well, that causes a draft and some of that warm air to be coming into the house. So make sure that your windows are up all the way at the top, and I lock them to make sure that they're closed while you're running your air conditioner. Also, when it comes to the windows, make sure that they're sealed up really good in the wintertime. You might put some caulk in the corners here, and that will keep the airflow out of your living space. And just an unrelated matter of personal opinion, don't let your wife buy feathered pillows. Do you see what happens with feathered pillows? You see all those feathers? Look at the couch. Look at all those feathers on the couch. Yep, we like our feathered pillows very much.
I like our feathered pillows, just saying.
One of the things I like to do when I'm not busy is to relax in my nice rocker. And Hope also likes to do the same thing and read. Make sure you're borrowing books from your library. Here is her latest book that she's borrowed. One of the ways to save on electricity is to change out your CF bulbs with these LED bulbs. They use a lot less over time, and they last longer than the CF bulbs do. When you're using your electrical appliances, especially those that have a remote control or a built-in LCD clock, they can use what's called phantom power. One way to get away from that is to unplug those items when they're not in use. One of the things that you can use is a power strip, and that way you can either unplug all of the items that are in this at once, or some of them have an on-off switch. This happens to be a smart one. It allows you to have some things plugged in here that are always on. When this item that's plugged in here is turned off, it doesn't allow power to these green outlets. So that is kind of a nice way to be able to save money when you're not using your appliances. One of the things that we found to be very useful in the summertime with our AC on is to use a fan like this while we're using the AC. The statistics show that you can turn your air conditioner up 4 degrees without even feeling any discomfort, as long as you have some air blowing in the room. This sends the air around the room, kind of does a rotation, and it gives everybody in here a chance to get some of that breeze. It's a great way to save some money on cooling. Having a programmable thermostat is a great help in saving some money on cooling and heating costs. What you want to do is set the temperatures so that the room that you're going to be staying in is comfortable while you're in it. But if you're away, you can set this to turn the room temperature either up or down, depending on what time of the year it is, and that will help you save on both cooling and heating costs.
Before you leave a room, turn off the light. When you're washing laundry, make sure that you're washing on cold water, cold rinse. And make sure that you're washing full loads. It takes more energy to wash a load of laundry than you might think that it does. When it comes to drying, make sure that if it's at all possible that you're line drying outside, you can also line dry inside your home. That uses, of course, the least amount of energy.
One of the ways that you can save on lighting your home at night is to use these LED lanterns. Hybrid Light makes these. This is the really good lantern. It is bright. And the nice thing about it, it's got a great feature. It has a solar panel on top, so you can leave this sitting in your windows. Wherever your windows are in your house, leave it sitting in the ledge, and it will charge up automatically in the daytime and be ready for you whenever you need it. And the other one is this Mammoth light. This one is really bright as well. And once again, it has a solar cell on the back for charging in the sun. So once again, we leave this in the window and let it charge up. But this has an additional feature that I really like. It has some outlets on the back there. You can just plug that directly in to your power in your house, and it will charge up that way as well. These can save you a lot of money. The other thing that's very handy to use is we have a nice small power station in our family room, and we'll use it to supply some additional lighting to the room. These are all USB powered lights. They don't really use very much power, and they'll run for a couple of months on one charge on this power station if we only run those lights off of it.
These are just a few of the small but mighty frugal habits that we use every single month to save money.
And we use so many of them.
We do.
And if you want to see some more, we have a video right over there you can watch.